Bakkt physically settled Bitcoin future contracts set to launch on the 23rd of September 2019. And we're going to also have a quick look at the markets. That is going to be the topic of this morning's video. Good morning, everybody. Okay, let's dive right into the markets. As you can see, we've got Bitcoin trading on Altcoin Trader at 160,000 Rand per coin, flat. Let's have a look at coin market cap. Now, a lot of people are saying altcoin season is here, but let's just go through that and see what's happening. We've got Bitcoin holding at its 10,250 odd US dollar mark. And as you can see, it's pretty flat on the day. We've got Ethereum up by a huge 7%. In fact, it's higher than that. Ripple at the 30 US cents mark, up by over 16%. And as you can see, things just go on and on like this. We've got Bitcoin Cash up over 5%. And if we go right down here to Stellar Lumens, we've got that at just on 15%. So what is happening and why are these altcoins so high? Well, that could be anyone's guess, but what I want to just focus on this morning and just get you to take a second to think about. We have got 2,870 cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin, the king, is at 67% dominance. So that means that Bitcoin single-handedly is worth more than every single cryptocurrency put together. And I often think that this dominance is not a true reflection. In my eyes, it is much higher because a lot of these 2,870 cryptocurrencies are very insignificant. They're never heard of. Most people don't even know that they exist. And they all count up to the average of what takes away from the dominance of Bitcoin. So just take a second to think about that, to think about this just under 70% dominance of Bitcoin. In fact, it is much, much higher. But it certainly is very nice to see all the altcoins and the way that they have gone up. Well, it's not really overnight, but especially overnight. They have been wanting to go up for a while. Ethereum, I've been very bullish about Ethereum for a very long time. I mean, it is basically blockchain 2.0. It is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, which is extremely significant, and it is different to Bitcoin. So it is an obvious choice for your portfolio. You should be holding Ethereum, in my opinion. Remember, this is just simply my opinion. Do not take it as financial advice because I'm not qualified as a financial advisor. Of course, Ripple is also really doing well, but Ripple is basically recovering from a lot of drops that it has been seeing over the last months. So it's nice to see that Ripple is coming back up. The Ripple community are very passionate about this coin, which is something that I always like about Ripple. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what evolves over the next couple of days. Is Bitcoin going to slowly start to slip down and lose a bit of its dominance? Or is Bitcoin just taking a breather? But anyway, good news in the markets to see so much green as we scroll down. It is very refreshing and certainly nice. Let's get straight into Bakkt and why this could be very significant for the price of Bitcoin. A lot of speculation out there. A lot of people saying, is Bakkt going to cause the price of Bitcoin to fly, to really go through the roof? Or is it going to cause the price of Bitcoin to fall? Now, Bakkt is physically settled Bitcoin futures. So a lot of people might think, but we've had Bitcoin futures in the past, in 2018, and it actually caused the price of Bitcoin to plummet. And that is correct. The CME futures that we had and we saw in 2018, where people could buy future contracts with Bitcoin, were very different to what we're about to see now, because they were cash settled futures and we're about to see Bitcoin settled futures. I just want to quickly go into what futures are and why this makes a difference. Okay, so the CME, let's go into what futures are. Futures give you the right to buy Bitcoin at a certain price in the future. So Bakkt is going to be launching daily futures as well as monthly futures. So let's just take a practical real world example of how this could work. If I bought a Bitcoin future and I bought the right to buy Bitcoin at $10,000 in 1 month's time. And for that right, for that contract, let's say I paid 5% or $500. So I pay someone $500 to buy a contract that allows me to buy Bitcoin for $10,000 in a month's time. If the price of Bitcoin goes up to $12,000, obviously I will exercise that contract and I will buy my Bitcoin at $12,000, meaning that I've paid a total of of 10,000 for the actual Bitcoin and 500 for my contract, 10,500 for a Bitcoin that is worth $12,000. If, however, the price drops, for example, let's say it drops to $8,000, I have the right to buy it at $10,000 and I've paid $500 for that right. I would not exercise my right, obviously, because I wouldn't want to make a loss. So I would forfeit my $500 and just walk away and buy the Bitcoin at $8,000, meaning I would get the Bitcoin at $8,500. I hope that's clear. I hope that makes sense. Now, in the past with the CME futures and some of the other futures that we've seen on the market, if this happened, those companies would simply settle it in cash. So they would just pay the person the $10,000 as opposed to the Bitcoin. So in fact, they were never actually dealing with Bitcoin. They were just, so to say, gambling on the Bitcoin price. So there was no need for these large institutions to ever buy Bitcoin, to ever enter the market, to ever hold Bitcoin. It was just a big betting or gambling game. However, now with Bakkt, okay, if that contract expires, as I said, they've got daily and monthly contracts, they cannot just settle it by giving them cash. They have to enter the market and they have to buy the physical Bitcoin. That's why the word physically settled is so important. Now they have to pay the contract holders out in Bitcoin, not in cash. And as we all know, this will put pressure on the upward movement of Bitcoin because they will have to buy Bitcoin. They have to buy Bitcoin. So we have a massive institution that is backed by institutional investors that have to physically enter the market and buy Bitcoin. Once they buy and start holding Bitcoin, this will mean Bitcoin becomes more scarce, which will, of course, drive the price up. Now, I wouldn't get too excited initially because this won't, look, these institutions are not going to be buying on Binance, or they're not going to be buying on Bittrex, or they're not going to be buying on Altcoin Trader. They might be, but probably not. Anyway, what they will probably do is buy OTC, over the counter, and this will mean that it will take some time before we see the effect of the Bitcoins being removed from the normal system and actually having an upward pressure and movement on the price. So it is certainly exciting long term. I think that the market is very tired of the anticipation of all of these things launching, and when they do actually launch, the hype is very much out, or the hype has been priced into the current Bitcoin price. But it will have a long-term effect on the price because of more people and institutions entering the Bitcoin space. I hope that I've explained futures in a way that is clear and easy for everyone to understand. Guys, if you like my channel, please subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it, and give it the thumbs up. That's it from me.